Welcome to or back to Forgotten Hollywood, the channel where I take you back in time to show you the movies, shows, and actors that have faded over the years. One critique of old Hollywood that I often hear is that there are no strong women in old films. Of course, these are usually claimed by people who don't actually watch old films. While I plan to make genre-specific lists on this topic in the future, I will kick it off with my top 10 amazing women from some of Hollywood's most classic films. Please note that I am not listing some of the obvious ones, as I'd like to avoid repeating characters from one list to the next. So there are some great women I'm saving for a future video. That said, here we go. Number 10, The Woman. Let's start out with the oldest film on our list, 1921's critically acclaimed The Kid. While the film focuses on Charlie Chaplin, Edna Purviance's role cannot be ignored. She is never given a name, but that doesn't take away from her impact, especially since no one is given a name except the little boy. As for the woman, an impulsive act of love leads her to a loss that might have broken a lesser person. However, she, though hurt, is not crushed, and ends up well off. And what does she do with her wealth? She gives back to the children. Yes, she is mourning the one she lost, but turning her grief into something productive. Her kindness wins out, and that is what makes her an awesome lady. Number 9, Katie Elder. Katie Elder has a unique distinction on this list, as no actress played her. In fact, she wasn't even seen in the movie, as it opens with her funeral.
What's happened to all of us?
Well, you said she'd like a monument.
Yeah, but not that kind. She wanted one of us, her family, to amount to something.
Well, she sure drew a flat blank zero.
Not yet, she hasn't. Not if Bud goes back to school.
Oh, now you wait a minute.
That's the kind of a monument she wants.
Well, why should I be the monument? No, when are you going to amount to something?
It's too late for the rest of us.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to be no monument. I'm going...
Yet still, this woman's shadow fell over everything. We get to know who she was and what she was like through the other characters, as the whole movie revolves around this woman we never see.
I hate to break in on your grief, but you'll need some food. Katie asked me to look in on you, if you came to the funeral.
That's mighty nice of you, man.
I wasn't doing it for you, or any of you. I'm doing it because Katie asked me to.
It takes quite a lady to make such a strong impression without even showing up. Number 8, Maria von Trapp. Everyone I know recognizes Julie Andrews running up the hill to sing about music. The iconic scene opens the film and introduces Maria, the unorthodox governess who turned the Von Trapp house on its head.
Fräulein, were you this much trouble at the Abbey?
Oh, much more, sir.
She helped both father and children to come together through song, then helped guide the family out of occupied Austria. She may not have had conventional strength or cunning, but there wasn't much about Maria that was conventional anyway.
Do you mean to tell me that my children have been roaming about Salzburg dressed up in nothing but some old drapes?
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Lyla Crane. She may not have been the subject of the most famous scene in the movie, but I think Vera Miles' character outshines her on-screen sister.
She left home on Friday. I was in Tucson over the weekend, and I haven't heard from her since. Not even a phone call. Look, if you two are in this thing together, I don't care. It's none of my business. But I want to talk to Marion, and I want her to tell me it's none of my business, and then I'll go.
Here is a woman looking for answers and willing to put her very safety on the line to learn the truth about what happened at the Bates Motel.
We're going to register as man and wife. We're going to get shown to a cabin, and then we're going to search every inch of the place, inside and out.
She is determined, careful, and brave. Everything that makes a good heroine. Number 6, Nicole Bonnet. Now, I could have really picked any of Audrey Hepburn's roles, but Nicole was a favorite of mine. Not only does she deal with Peter O'Toole's Simon with poise and wit.
Be an angel. Before you go to bed, just give the frame of the painting a little wipe with a clean cloth, okay?
Certainly. Anything else? You wouldn't like a forged passport or some counterfeit money or...
No.
She is the one who comes up with the plan for the heist. Okay, she does leave the details to Simon, but she hired him and selected the target. And why is she willing to risk prison for such a heist? For the love of her father.
When you sell a fake masterpiece, that is a crime.
But I don't sell them to poor people, I only sell them to millionaires.
How can you not love a girl who would move heaven and earth, or in this case $1 million statue, to help her aging father? Number 5, Dr. Zira. She may not be human, but she is probably the smartest woman on this list. In addition to intelligence, Kim Hunter plays her character with compassion and wit. Zira is not afraid to speak up when no one else will, and she genuinely cares for the human she comes in contact with.
Dr. Zira, this is a man, is it not?
He is unlike any man you have ever seen.
However, my personal favorite moment is in Escape from the Planet of the Apes, when she is humoring the human scientists. Until she's not.
Well, why doesn't she take it? Because I loathe bananas. Zira.
Number 4, Mary-Kate Danaher. As with Audrey Hepburn, Maureen O'Hara has a dozen roles that could fit on this list. But I would like to focus on Mary-Kate in The Quiet Man. Talk about a woman who stands by her convictions.
And this you may tell your Mr. Party of the first part, that when I wed, whatever's my own goes with me.
You might think it's old-fashioned that she wouldn't court a man she loved because she didn't have permission, or that she refused to act as a wife before her dowry and her inheritance were settled.
What is this?
Haven't I been trying to tell you that until you have my dowry, you haven't got any bit of me, myself? I'll still be dreaming amongst the things that are my own.
But the fact that she chose to follow the old ways, despite John Wayne Shawn encouraging her to do otherwise, and her wanting to, shows strength of will and character. She could have defied her brother and run away with her boyfriend, but she had made up her mind about how she wanted to be courted and married. She would not settle for anything less. A girl's gotta have standards. Number 3, Kathy Selden. Sometimes it takes strength to stay in the background. Debbie Reynolds' portrayal of a struggling dancer and singer in the 1920s proves it. This woman, knowing she would receive no credit, took a job to save a film and actor from ruin. She wasn't forced into it. She chose to in order to help her friends.
Don't you get it? Use Kathy's voice. Lena just moves her mouth and Kathy's voice comes over singing and talking for her.
That's wonderful.
No, I couldn't let you do it, Kathy.
Why not?
Because you wouldn't be seen. You'd be throwing away your own career.
It has nothing to do with my career. It's only for this one picture. The important thing now is to save the dueling cavaliers.
Selfless courage and compassion. A stark contrast from the film's other female lead.
Yes, but you didn't lose your job, and she did.
Darn tootin' she did. I arranged it.
What?
Well, they weren't going to fire her, so I called them up and told them they better.
Hold on.
Now remember, you're madly in love with her, and you have to overcome her shyness and timidity. Cut!
Oh, Donnie, you couldn't kiss me like that and not mean it just a teensy-weensy bit.
Meet the greatest actor in the world. I'd rather kiss a tarantula.
You don't mean that.
I don't... Hey, Joe, bring me a tarantula. Now listen, Lena. Stop that chit-chat, you lovebirds. Let's get another take.
Number 2, Mary Bailey. This heartwarming holiday classic is about a great man and the impact he has on his community. But as they say, behind every great man is a great woman. This is true in Donna Reed's portrayal of Mary.
Cares. Bread, that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
George's wife may not have been in every scene, but she was at the heart of the film. It was her idea to give up their honeymoon money to save the family business. She was the one who restored their house, by herself, mind you. And it was her spearheading the effort to save George from ruin at the end.
Isn't it wonderful? So many friends. Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told some people you were in trouble with it. They scattered all over town collecting money. Didn't ask any questions. Just said, George in trouble. Tell me, idiot.
Mary Bailey is truly a strong, capable, and dare I say it, wonderful woman. Number 1, Adrian Balboa. Okay, so at first glance you might not think of a shy pet store clerk as a strong woman. But when you take a second look at Talia Shire's character, you find the literal heart of the film. Yes, Rocky is the star, but Adrian is his reason.
There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win. Win.
She is his strength. When she backs him, he wins. When she's not with him, he fails. Adrian always knows what to say to him to get him on the right track.
Paula thinks you can do it. So do I. But you gotta want to do it for the right reasons. Not for the guilt over Mickey. Not for the people. Not for the title. Not for money or me. But for you. Just you. Just you alone.
And if I lose?
And you lose. At least you lose with no excuses. No fear. And I know you can live with that.
Her absence in Rocky Balboa is felt so keenly that, like Katie Elder, she is still there without being there. Adrian's inner strength is just as strong as Rocky's outer strength, if not stronger. That's why she tops this list.
Yo, Adrian, we did it.
So, that's my list of amazing women and Hollywood classics. Who was your favorite of these? Or did I miss yours? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell for notifications. Stay tuned for my next top 10 list, and I will catch up with you next time.